students, Mr. Tim here with Premier Martial Arts in Aurora, ready to go over our next piece of curriculum. If you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you check the channel. If you enjoyed the videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Anyway, let's get started. Alright students, now before we get started practicing our rear leg side kick today, let's do just this little balance exercise involving our chambers. So starting in a neutral position, just standing straight, standing even, right, all my toes pointed forward, I'm just going to take one knee and I'm going to lift it up as high as I can. After I lift my knee up, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to start pointing it across to the opposite side. Let's say this is our left leg that we lift. We're going to point our left leg to the right. Now as I point my left leg to the right, I'm going to start twisting my bottom foot and turning my belly and chest towards that side also. Now with balance, I'm going to do my very best to return by pulling my knee back, letting my chest and my belly rotate so that I get right back to the very same position. Once I get here, I can go ahead and set it down, shake it out before performing it again. Perform this 5 times with each leg before moving on. Again, knee up high, take your time, go slow, right? Quality of movement is critical. I start to rotate my knee over, and then I turn my hips and my chest while letting my bottom foot pivot. I want to reverse that movement. Again, 5 times each side. Alright students, now let's get started. Let's get into guard stance, and the leg that you're going to kick with, go ahead and put it behind you. We are going to end up kicking with both legs, so really doesn't matter which side you prefer to start with. Now I'm going to take my back leg and I'm going to perform that movement that I did to complete my chamber. I want to load all the way before I go to stomp the kick out. So I'm going to take my back knee, I'm going to lift it up high. Right away I'm going to start to rotate it over and turn my body. The knee comes up, my knee pulls across, my body turns all the way here. Now, once I get here, notice how I've pulled this knee all the way to my center line, and I'm lifting that heel, starting to aim it out towards the target before I go to stomp. Now from here, not a whole lot should have to happen. I'm going to extend and suck in my belly, right? Not let myself lean or twist too much as I take that heel and I reach it all the way straight and bring it all the way back. That's how I'm going to execute my back leg side kick. Perform 10 of these on each side. After you've done it on one side, then switch your stance completely and perform it with that other side also. Alright students, now let's take that back leg side kick and let's put it into a combination. Now I'm going to put it into the combination like this. We practiced in a previous video firing out our front leg front kick, right? By shifting my weight to my back leg without taking any extra steps, I chamber and I stack. Right away when I set it down, I'm going to start to pivot that foot because right away I'm going to take my back knee, I'm going to lift it, I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to fire out my rear leg side kick. Here. Now after I fire out that side kick, I'm going to take that foot and I'm going to set it in front of me into my new guard stance. Here, I'm going to take a breath. And then I'm going to perform the combination again right away, just on the opposite side. So I bring my weight to my back foot. Without extra steps, I lift that front knee, front kick. When it hits the floor, I'm going to start turning those toes preemptively so that I can easily and right away bring that back leg up and around to fire out that back leg side kick. Now with balance, I re-chamber and I set it down in a guard stance in front of me, continuing the combination. Perform this 10 times in sequence before moving on. Alright students, now let's continue on our series of our back fall and our guard stance on the ground. If we haven't watched those previous videos, make sure we do, and we really get down the technique of the back fall itself, our guard stance when we're on the ground, and in particular our technical get up, getting up the safest way that we can before we perform this next thing. Alright students, let's perform our back fall, let's get into our guard stance on the ground, and let's practice today moving or angling ourselves while we are in our guard stance on our back. So let's start by performing a back fall. I'm going to turn to the side as we perform this. I'll turn this way rather. I'm going to squat down, keep my chin tucked. Make sure my shoulders hit the ground before my hands. My elbows and my shoulders never get underneath me. Once I touch here, I'm in a guard stance here. When I'm in my guard stance, my hands, whether they're open or closed, doesn't matter, but they are in front of my face. The leg that I have up, that heel is above that knee every time. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice just rotating at different angles. Now, there are a lot of different ideas about what the best way to move once you're in this position is. To me, it doesn't matter all that much. It's more about how effective can we be. Sometimes it's going to come down to our body types, our musculature, or just our personal preference. So first, I'm going to keep this leg up, and I'm going to take this leg, and I'm going to practice doing both a push and a pull. So first, let's reach to the outside. I'm going to reach to the outside, I'm going to grab. I'm going to start to turn, and I'm going to push through so that I get here. Right? Notice how I've taken that angle. Now I want to imagine if somebody's trying to run around my feet. So I'll take that leg, again, I reach it out, I turn, and then I push underneath off of that foot so that I can spin my guard stance. Notice when I spin my guard stance, I'm still tucking my hip bones up, and I'm keeping my head and my shoulders up off of the floor. After I've done that with that leg, reaching out first and then pushing through, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that leg, I'm going to reach under. And then I'm going to pull myself through. Hips tucked up, head and shoulders off of the ground. I reach under with that foot, and then I pull all the way through to get me to turn to that ankle. After I practice that on one side, I'm going to switch my feet, and I'm going to practice that same thing here. Practicing reaching, turning, and pushing to get me around. Or I'll take that foot, I'll reach it underneath, and I'll pull myself out and across. Practicing that rotation from our guard stance here. All right, students, I'm going to stay in my guard stance on the ground, and we're going to talk about one more little movement to create more distance before I perform my technical get up. Every once in a while, after I throw my stomp kicks from the ground here, right, stomping on their knees, right, stomping up towards my opponent's head or stomach or groin even, I might need to create just a little bit more distance right before I get up to feel a little safer. So I'm going to think about as I reach and I start to get up to here, using that foot, using that hand just to lift my butt, pull it back just a little bit. Notice how I stay in the position where it's one foot on the ground and my opposite hand as I create distance. That way, as soon as I feel like I'm safe with my space, I can right away plant and finish getting all the way up to my feet. But take some time to practice that scoot. I prefer the one-handed scoop for that reason. I can very easily lift and tuck underneath while I still have this hand here just in case. But if I need a much bigger movement backwards, I might for a moment put both hands on the floor and take a big scoop backwards before getting back to that position and finishing my get up. All right, students, now practice the combination of our back fall, our guard stance, our movement on the floor, our stomp kicks, and then our get up. Right? Practice all of these things creatively, with whatever order whatever order feels best for you to really lock it into our muscle memory and understanding, the purpose of when or why I would use this. So picturing an opponent, I might back fall here. Maybe while I'm right here, first I throw my first stomp kick. Maybe I feel like they move, so I reach and I pull myself through. Now from here, I throw another stomp kick. I start to sit up. Right? Maybe I make a couple scoots. One more stomp kick, why not? Bam! And then I finish getting all the way up to my guard stance. Right? But things like that, perform those different combinations so that, get creative with it, build it into your memory and your muscle memory so that we can be strong and effective in those movements when we need to. All right, students, in review, we practiced our rear leg side kick. We practiced a kicking combination involving our rear leg side kick, and then we continued on our guard stance on our back fall series with some ground movement. Take some time, review, watch the video over again to really get all those details and really practice the very best that you can, right, with the most focus that you can. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been fun. Again, check out the channel. Check out some of the other videos and some of the other techniques that we posted. If you're enjoying the videos, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.